Choose foods that cool and balance for the Pitta diet. Mastering the art of cooking for Pitta body types. You need nurturing meals for balanced digestion, but they need to be cooling and alkalizing, using sweet, bitter, and astringent. And we're going to talk about what foods exactly are the sweet, bitter, and astringent foods for Pitta. Are you a Pitta body type with naturally strong hydrochloric acid in your digestion? What does this really mean? It means you can eat a big meal and digest it completely, and it feels easy to digest because Pitta predominant body types have the strongest hydrochloric acid of all the different body types, which means that when their digestion is really balanced, they're the kind of people that can eat a 12-ounce steak and it actually digests overnight, as opposed to a pork kaffa that it takes 3 days to digest because they don't have enough hydrochloric acid. Or I wouldn't say enough, but not enough to digest a 12-ounce steak in 24 hours. However, if you get out of balance, you can get an acid stomach that leads to acid reflux or gets irritable if you don't eat when you're hungry or if you miss lunch. Those are the classic signs of an Ayurvedic Pitta predominant person, because they can get acid reflux, they can get irritable if you don't eat when you're hungry or if you miss lunch. And why? Because lunch is when the body has the most amount of hydrochloric acid in the whole 24-hour circadian cycle. So if you don't put the food in when most of the acid in, you will start to cause yourself all kinds of Pitta imbalances or acid digestive imbalances.
Do you often experience issues like acid reflux, rashes, agitation, and anger? If so, you're in the right place. In this article, we'll delve into the world of cooking and explore how to create tasty daily meals specifically tailored to meet the needs of Pitta body types.
We'll focus on incorporating foods that are sweet, bitter, and astringent while keeping in mind the importance of the grounding elements and the cooling elements of a good dish for the Ayurvedic Pitta diet. The best vegetables for Pittas to eat are artichokes and asparagus and beets and bitter melon, and broccoli and Brussels sprouts and cabbage and carrots, raw and cooked, cauliflower, celery, cilantro, cucumber, dandelion greens, fennel, green beans, Jerusalem artichoke, kale, lettuce, mushrooms, parsley, peas, potatoes, spaghetti squash, sprouts, squash, winter squash, and watercress, and zucchini. And those are the best. And Dr. Vasant Lad, one of my favorite teachers of Ayurveda, I consider him the grandfather of Ayurvedic medicine in the United States. He says bitter is better. And why is bitter better for the Pitta? Because bitter is a pure alkaline, or you could say a pure alkaloid. And so if you take bitter melon, it will really instantly help with hydrochloric acid, stomach acid, heartburn, GERD, those kinds of Pitta imbalances. Before we jump into creating delicious meals, let's take a moment to understand what it means to have a Pitta body type. The Pitta body type is in the middle of this graphic. Why? Because it's the medium build, strong digestion, most hydrochloric acid of the three main body types. The microbiome is another word for gut health. Pitta individuals tend to have a moderate physique and strong digestion, often accompanied by what can be a fiery temperament. But it's also they're very brilliant people, and they're very engaged, and they're very intense, and they're the great artists and people who can just go into a situation, quickly see what's wrong, and quickly be able to organize in their mind how to create a solution. So fiery can mean many things. They are naturally warm, they have a good appetite, and they tend to be driven and focused and have really healthy ambition and love competitive sports. When it comes to diet, Pitta body types thrive on foods that are cooling, sweet, bitter, and astringent, calming, and grounding. Pitta body types need awareness of the need to balance the naturally strong hydrochloric acid that gives them naturally strong digestion and reduces, because they have such high amount of hydrochloric acid, Pitta people have a predisposition for acid reflux. Pitta individuals benefit from incorporating sweet, bitter, and astringent flavors into the meal so that it can balance out the strong acids. And bitters are a perfect alkaloid. And what you see in this picture is a bitter melon. And bitter melon is like a medicine. In fact, like for diabetes, it is recommended that people take bitter melon capsules. Bitter melon takes a little bit of getting used to, but actually I love it. It's a yummy food. You cut it in half, you take all the seeds out, you slice it really thinly, and you can saute it in ghee or olive oil, and you can mix it with other sweet kinds of foods, and it's really a delicious contrast. This is a list of signs and symptoms, okay? So lifestyle and diet symptoms of a Pitta body type. So if you're a really strong Pitta, you're prone to getting hot, maybe fevers. You can be plagued by food allergies. You can get a weakness to low blood sugar. You can get night sweats, disturbing dreams, sour body odor, acne, bloodshot eyes, boils, skin rashes, hot flashes, very sensitive to heat, bad breath, diarrhea, fitful sleep, stomach ulcers, acid stomach, and heartburn. Sweet foods with a low glycemic index are best for Pitta, like apples, blueberries, and other berries. Broccoli is a superfood for a Pitta. Why? Broccoli has been proven by nutritional research to be the best food to increase the liver's ability to detox. Check out nutritionfacts.org, Body's Best Detox video, and see for yourself.
Astringent foods are those that have a characteristic taste that is dry, puckering, and often sharp. You may experience a tightening or drying sensation in your mouth when you consume astringent foods. This taste is primarily due to the presence of tannins, which are naturally occurring compounds found in certain fruits, vegetables, and beverages. Astringent foods like lentils and legumes.
So here's some examples of astringent foods. Green apples, and green apples are known for their tartness and astringent flavor, especially compared to sweeter varieties. Pomegranates, which are my favorite. Pomegranate seeds and juice are rich in tannins and they give them a really good astringent taste. Unripe bananas contain higher levels of starch and tannins, and they make them astringent than fully ripe, make them more astringent than fully ripe bananas. Cranberries are tangy and astringent, especially when consumed fresh or in juice form. Persimmons, certain varieties, when they're not fully ripe, are high in tannins. Black tea are well-known astringent beverage that is, thanks to their tannins that release during the steeping process, and red wine contains tannins derived from grape skins, resulting in a dry and astringent taste, but that has to be taken very moderately. Breakfast. Consider a bowl of overnight oats made with coconut milk, topped with sliced fresh mango and a sprinkle of cardamom. It doesn't have to be overnight oats. You can use instant also. But in Ayurveda, it is sometimes recommended to soak the oats overnight. This combination offers sweetness, a hint of bitterness from the cardamom, and a cooling effect from the coconut milk. Lunch. It is never advisable for Pitta types to skip lunch because from 10 to 3 p.m. daily, the Pitta body has the most amount of hydrochloric acid or stomach acid available in the 24-hour body cycle. And it's not just the Pitta body, that is the chronobiology of digestion, is that the most hydrochloric acid in anybody's body is between 10 and 3 every day. So that's when you have to have your biggest meal of the day to be the healthiest Pitta you can be. Mastering the art of cooking for Pitta body types can have a profound impact on your overall well-being. Why not embrace the opportunity to experiment in the kitchen and discover the joy of preparing nourishing meals that cater to your unique needs? When you're your own cook and you understand what foods to use, then you can drum up or cook up a really quick many different kinds of dishes that are delicious and really balance your body and help flush out excess acids and bring the proper amount of alkaline foods into your diet. And you can be creating delicious dishes that nourish both your body and your soul. First of all, I'd like to say happy cooking, because of course in Ayurveda it says that the cook has to be happy and really like the foods that they're cooking. So now you know, you want to go into the grocery store and use the list that I've provided here for fruits and vegetables, and get some sweet, bitter, and astringent vegetables, and the grains for Pitta, and the beans for Pitta, and make yourself an amazingly delicious meal, and don't forget the spices.
Here is an example, and you can create many different versions using Pitta pacifying vegetables, grains, and beans.
Here's my personal favorite. I can't say this too many times. For Pitta, Dr. Fasant Lad teaches bitter is better. Why is bitter better? Because bitter is high in alkaline, high in alkaloids, and it helps flush out excess acid. So if you've had a really busy day, a lot of fight or flight, things didn't work out, and got frustrated, didn't get your lunch on time, then you really want to choose the more bitter vegetables. And they're in that list that I gave you earlier. Kale, the leafy greens, artichokes. There's many, many ways you can go about it, but it's a healthy choice. Bitter is better. This is my California-inspired delight. Sweet, bitter, and astringent. A grain bowl with beans and bitter vegetables.
Are you craving a flavorful and nourishing meal inspired by a delicate taste that balances your body after an intense day of work? Look no further. In this recipe, we'll combine the goodness of sweet, bitter, and astringent tastes with a variety of beans, grains, and bitter vegetables.
Think brown rice, lentils, bitter melon, arugula, radicchio, carrots, aromatic spices like coriander, fennel, and saffron. Get ready to enjoy a delicious and balanced grain bowl that showcases the vibrant flavors of California, which is where I'm from and where I was born. Okay, let's dive into making this dish. Let's start with the ingredients. One cup of cooked brown rice. 1 cup of cooked lentils, any variety you prefer. I use bitter melon. You can get that usually in a lot of Asian stores. You can also get it at farmers markets. And if you don't want to jump right in and start with bitter melon because it doesn't appeal to you, you can use a delicata squash. You can use spaghetti squash. You could use some just leafy greens in place of the bitter melon, but I'm going to teach you how to do the bitter melon. So you take 1 small bitter melon, thinly sliced and de-seeded, 1 cup of arugula, 1 cup of radicchio shredded, 1 carrot julienne, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1 teaspoon of ground coriander, 1 teaspoon of ground fennel, a pinch of saffron threads,
salt and pepper to taste,
lime wedges for serving. Why lime? Because for pittas, lemon is sour and hot. Lime is sweet and cool. Always lime for pittas. Okay, this is how you put it together. Start by preparing the bitter melon. So as you can see in this slide, Bitter taste can also be rapini, leafy greens, bitter melon. Bitter is better, ancient wisdom teaches, especially for people who are prone to acid reflux, hyperacidity, and excessive hunger. So give bitter melon a try. Slice the bitter melon lengthwise and remove the seeds. Thinly slice the melon into half moons. Now, in a large bowl, combine the cooked brown rice, lentils, bitter melon, arugula, radicchio, and carrots in a bowl. And if you like this video and want more, please like, comment, and subscribe. Toss them together and gently mix well. In a small skillet, heat the olive oil or ghee over medium heat. Add the ground coriander, ground fennel, and saffron threads to the skillet. Stir them gently to release their aroma and let the spices toast for a minute. Not too much longer than that. Pour the spiced oiled mixture over the grain and vegetables mixture in the bowl and into the bowl. Season with salt and pepper to taste, but pittas should not take too much salt, and of course pepper is hot. Give everything a good toss to evenly distribute the flavors and ensure the vegetables and grains are well coated with the spiced ghee or oil. The combination of brown rice, lentils, bitter melon, arugula, radicchio, and carrots, along with the aromatic spices. Some pittas can't take brown rice, so of course you could always use basmati rice or even quinoa or couscous. So grab your ingredients, get creative with the flavors, and enjoy a tasty and balanced meal inspired by the sunny California weather.
Bon appetit!